Hello, we're going to take a look at the life of Nehemiah, and we're going to look at it from a leadership perspective, beginning with chapter 1. This evening I'd like to start by laying some groundwork for Nehemiah as a charismatic and inspirational leader. What is it that causes people to attribute charisma to a leader? Let's begin by taking a look at the idea of charismatic leaders and what does that look like? Smith in 1982 came up with a fairly apt description that was echoed in many other areas of research, that a charismatic leader is someone who's typically empathetic of others. They move quickly, they're fast and decisive, they're aggressive, they're bold and extroverted typically. They're high energy, energetic individuals, and they speak their mind. They're very frank and blunt in most cases. So this concept of a charismatic leader is something that most of us may be fairly familiar with. You see it a lot in strong entrepreneurial personalities many times. But what is it specifically that followers say causes them to attribute charisma to a particular leader? Euclid in 2002 said people attribute charisma when they have a leader who articulates a persuasive vision. They not only have a vision, but they articulate it effectively. They evince strong convictions, passions. They communicate the vision in a compelling manner that causes people to be moved. They communicate high expectations of the people around them, but they have confidence in their followers, and they empower their followers to fulfill the vision. We'll see these characteristics displayed very clearly in the life of Nehemiah. As we continue to look at some of those other traits, characteristics, they appear enthusiastic and confident. The charismatic leader builds identity with the group. They share power and manage their followers' impressions. What do the followers think? They're paying attention to their impressions of not only them to them as a leader, but to the vision they've laid out. They take personal risks and make personal sacrifices. They show more concern for followers than self-interest. That may not actually be true, but that's the impression they give. It is certainly true in the life of Nehemiah that they show more concern for the followers than even perhaps their own self-interest. So we're going to take a look at chapter 1 of Nehemiah to begin with. How did Nehemiah respond to news about the destruction of Jerusalem? I would like to first draw your attention to a description of the difference in what makes a leader. If we go to John chapter 10, Jesus talks about himself as the good shepherd. It says, I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. We certainly hear that in terms of the empathetic, charismatic leader who puts others ahead of himself in terms of his own self-interest. Yet Jesus said that when the hireling comes, the hireling sees the wolf coming and he leaves the sheep and flees. And the wolf comes in and scatters the sheep. He says he flees because he's a hireling and cares nothing for the sheep. How many leaders have we known who were there for the money, they were there for the glory, they were there for plenty of things, but they didn't appear to empathize with the followers, they didn't empower them, they didn't seem to have perhaps even confidence in them. And there's a difference between a hireling and a true shepherd. And our charismatic traits that we're looking at and characteristics of a leader is someone who is engaged, who demands a lot, but also seems to identify with the group and with the followers. We'll see those play out in the life of Nehemiah. So pay attention to the threads you'll find in the discussion board, taking into account what you'll read in chapter 1 of Nehemiah, and also some of these characteristics. See if you can't identify some more of these characteristics in chapter 1. And we're going to continue this study. Thank you.